reaching out to someone was a big deal for me.
I had no personality, I had no humour.
Because as guys, I think we often just go, yeah, we're right.
Yeah.
But then asking someone how you really are is important to open that dialogue up further.
But now I can look back and be thankful that I'm here now.
So with bettering my own mental health, I eventually spoke to a therapist. And the reason why I wanted to mention a therapist is I know that everyone doesn't have access to one. But I think there's a stigma that comes around when we're talking about mental health and speaking to therapists, that there must be something wrong with you to then speak to a therapist about something. And I think it's difficult to admit, because that almost puts you in a different category and we label ourselves. But for me, having someone who was a professional listener really just helped me speak and open up to someone who was going to be non-judgmental of things. And I think for me, being a guy and even my dad not being a person who particularly expressed much emotion, I suppressed that a lot as well. So reaching out to someone was a big deal for me, but reaching out to a therapist and kind of breaking down my struggles, my issues and my problems really just helped. And I know, again, it's one of those services which isn't cheap and it is an expense, but I think like we say, speaking about today, we often commit financially to our own health and fitness, and we're very proactive with that. With our mental health, we're very reactive. So for me, that was like a big part of one of the pillars that I need to look after for that part of my life.
And is this something you'll continue with, or was it something that you did for a short space of time?
So at the time, I was doing it for like a short, intense block.
Yeah.
So I was doing therapy once a week, and then as it started to help me more and more, I kind of started doing it once a month, and I was just implementing practices that I'd worked on and strategies and techniques to do so. Again, being more proactive rather than reactive with it. So then that kind of bettered me for the long run as well, and setting those foundations.
So you mentioned being a man, and men are less likely to open up to each other. You mentioned that your dad didn't particularly open up. Is this something that you are doing more now you've had therapy, and encouraging your friends to do the same?
Yeah, so I put a post about 2 months ago talking about this as well, and like just talking, and it like kind of pushing people to talk about more, and even DMing me. And even if I can't give the answer to people, because that's something that I think we've got to be careful of, is people giving the wrong advice. It may be very good intention, but it doesn't mean the advice is correct. But if I can point people in the right direction, to the right guidance, the right therapist, or whatever that may be, just talking and opening up and speaking about that is an avenue to then get people into the right avenues where they need to be themselves.
And just listening as well. When people say, how are you? Often we just go, yeah, fine, without really answering honestly. And I think we all have a duty to listen to the people around us as well, be it your male friends, your girlfriends, regardless. I think we all need to speak more to each other. I
think even asking that question twice is important as well, because as guys, I think we often just go, yeah, we're right.
Yeah.
But then asking someone how you really are is important to open that dialogue up further.
Obviously, being underweight, it really, really massively affected my mental health, and I was really, really struggling. And now that I've gained weight, it's completely changed my life. Like, when I was struggling with my mental health, it was like everything was just negative. It impacted my relationships, it impacted myself as just a person. I was very like agitated and very dull inside. I had no personality, I had no humour. I was going through it when I was at uni, so obviously I was with lots of people, and I had a lot of anxiety around people and lots of social anxiety. People make like jokes, and I didn't respond to them. I had no personality whatsoever. So now that I can compare myself now to how I was then, it's like a completely different person. And obviously with that, my whole life has changed. Like, I'm so much more positive, which means that I can actually believe in myself to do things I want to do, which then makes me do those things and achieve the things I've always wanted to do. So I think I'm just a lot more myself, and I guess with that, your life changes with that. Like, you really do start to gain lots of confidence and make friends and change your life.
It sounds like you got your life back.
Yeah, I have. I never realised I lost it, and like now I've realised how much I missed out on before. And it's crazy for me to think that I did that for 8 years, and through those 8 years there were such fundamental years in my life, because I was growing up and becoming a person, and I just formed into such a different person, and the person I didn't want to be. but now I can look back and be thankful that I'm here now.